Okay, so today I want to talk about the purpose to our lives. This is definitely one of the more important things to think about when you're living your life. It's one of those things that not many people think about, and they kind of just go through day-to-day life, just taking each day as it comes, which is a good thing. But it's also important to think about the bigger picture of our lives. Where do we want to be? How do we want to be living our lives? What is the ultimate purpose to our life on earth? It's quite a deep question, but it's very important because it ultimately will shape where we end up. If we can figure out our purpose, we can ultimately live a more fulfilled life, a life better for God as well. So I just finished uni and I landed my first job. Now I'd gone through GCSEs, A-levels, did a 3 or 4 year uni degree, and then finally got a job. After all that education, it was kind of like, okay, this is the start to my life now. So even though I was originally happy with getting the job, I soon became unhappy because I realised this was not really a bit of me. It wasn't kind of fulfilling my potential. I believed that I had more to offer than what I was doing at the job. The title of the job was engineer, but really I was barely doing any actual design work, barely using any of my degree. I was kind of just going throughout my day, just filling it out with fluff, just not really doing anything. And yes, I wasn't really enjoying my job. And then I started to think about where I want to be when I'm older. And I would look at the older colleagues in the workplace, and I'd think to myself, I don't really want to be like them. And it made me think about how important it is to actually plan out where you want to be in your life, because there's quite a lot of people who don't really plan this out, and they end up in the job they don't like, in a place where they don't want to be in life. So let's talk about how you can actually find the purpose of your life. I think ultimately the best thing for us to do is to pray. Always start with prayer. Pray to God and ask Him, what is the purpose of my life? Even though He may not talk to you audibly, He will definitely show you clear direction of where you need to be. So let's say you have a new job that you're eyeing up. Pray about that new job and ask God, is this job right for me? Pray about this new hobby that you're starting, or a new relationship that you're starting, and ask, is this right for me? And normally God kind of shows you clearly whether it's right or wrong for you. And not only should you pray, but also when God does give you that answer, it's so important to be obedient and listen to the answer. There's certain times where you can have your own will and you can be like, okay, this job is what I want to do, and then God kind of gives you that nudge saying, this is not what I've planned for you to do, and it's very easy to be disobedient and go your own way. But as it's always best to trust God. Trust that God has the best plan for your life. I think the second way to add purpose to your life is to make sure that you're serving others. Obviously, this is one of the laws of Christ, is to love your neighbour as you love yourself, to serve others. Just as Christ came down here to serve us, it is our duty to be serving other people as well. Whether that be holding a door for somebody that you don't know, or reaching out to a friend to give them advice, or to just be there for them. Just living our lives attempting to serve other people just as Christ has served us. There's so much joy that can be had from doing these type of things. People can find a purpose in life where it's just kind of serving themselves, and it's just glorifying themselves in a way. But if you can add a part to your life where you're also serving other people, even by doing some charity work or just doing something, even maybe that be your job, that's just helping other people, but figuring out a way that you can help others in your life and not just live a selfish life, but a life that helps other people just as God wanted us to do. It says in Ephesians 2 verse 10, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. And that verse explains it very clearly, that we've been created to do good things for the world. We've been created to help other people. So if we get saved by Christ and we kind of just live for just ourselves, we're not doing what God planned for us to do, which is to serve others, which is to help the whole world. This is why when thinking about the purpose of your life, it's not just one direction. Oh, the purpose of my life is this job. It's actually, there's so many different purposes to your life. It's multidimensional. Like there's different things to your life that have a purpose. But I do think our most important purpose is to be transforming ourselves into the image of Christ. Just as it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, we are constantly being transformed into the image of Christ. This is something we actively have to do. We actively have to be praying and attempting to get closer towards God and becoming more like Him in the process. That's why, although it's important to find a hobby or a job or something that feels like it's a purpose for this life, there's also eternity to worry about. We want to be ready when we're passed on. We want to be as much like Christ as possible. That's the third thing that I think needs to be focused on. We need to give so much of our attention towards that every single day, thinking to ourselves, how can we become more like Christ? What aspect of ourselves is not like Christ? In everything we do, are we living the way Jesus would live? If we can hold to these three things strongly, we can really live a fulfilling life. Through living our life like this, we can also inspire other people to get closer towards God, because they see how we're living, they see the fruits that we're bearing. When you're living a life of serving others and living for God, it does come with its suffering, but that suffering produces character. It produces joy that ultimately in the long run is beneficial for our lives. Instead of the short term of avoiding that suffering and never really growing, we can actually become something better, become more like God. So yeah, that's why I just wanted to do this quick video, just to get you thinking about what is the purpose to my life. Anyway, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for making it this far in the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you in the next video.